Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, live from Studio 630 in the burbs of Chicago. It is time now for another episode of Outside the Box. Outside the Box. With your hosts, Oz Osborne and Pee Wee Taylor.
And we are live. Welcome back, Mr. Pee Wee.
Welcome back, Oz.
Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us here for episode number 13. Can you believe we made it to 13?
Actually, yeah, I can. I think, I don't know. I have confidence, so.
Hey, we got to 1080p. The sky is the limit.
We're upgrading.
Actually,
we got new software. We got a new camera.
I think 1080 is our limit because nobody wants to see us in 4K.
4K is going to be bad. 1080 is plenty.
I should have shaved.
No,
Make
you're
sure my
good. You're
beard's-
good. Fine.
Anyway, we're back for part 2 of the Jamie and Derek interview. And hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I know we did. It's always nice to get to know somebody new. And, I know we've seen Jamie around for a little while, so it's nice to put a face with the car.
Yeah.
For sure.
I've never talked to her.
No.
Outside of here, I've liked her pictures and probably commented on stuff, but never.
And that's what's great about it. We get to meet somebody. We do see the cars. And unfortunately, with some of the boards, it's all we do is look at the car above us and go, oh, now I got to put my picture.
There's no face.
Yeah,
it's nice to match the face.
So it's always nice to do that. So we're going to continue on with that. We're going to keep this short. We're going to go take a quick commercial break. And then we're going to go into a short little discussion that Pee Wee came up with. And
Yes.
we'll go from there. So we'll see you on the other side of this commercial. All right, guys. So we don't know what the heck we're going to do on these odd second week things when we're doing this.
We're working this out.
Because we
Right.
film one right after another, so I can't really... I don't know about you, Pee Wee, but I cannot predict the future. Because,
It's hard to do. I mean, I know Hollywood films movies in revert, like backwards.
yeah, well, that's a little easier because they control it, but we can't control the news. And if I could control the future,
So
God
due to
knows,
that-
you would know it.
We can't tell you the news because we don't know yet.
I predict somebody is going to ask a question, then we're all going to roll our eyes and shake our head. And I also predict somebody is going to get pissed off, say something, and then they're going to leave. Or
Either way.
I'm predicting 2 part outs.
2?
2.
Shit. I hope not.
Anyway, so what we figured out we're going to do is we're going to just kind of pick a topic, and and we're just kind of roll with it. And Pee Wee came up with a good one. What you got, Pee Wee?
I've got show prep. Show season's right around the corner. I see, and this has nothing to do with XBs, but I see stuff at shows where people either have good cars and they just don't know how to like present the car, or and I've learned pointers from this guy and just from going to shows on like how to just improve your appearance at shows. And one of those things is display. You want to hit on this a little bit?
Well, let's step it back just a little bit first.
Am I getting carried away?
Let's go into the judge. Let's talk about judging a little bit.
Okay, yeah,
But
let's start there.
I'm going to kind of go a little something here first. Maybe you guys are new. I know we got a lot of new guys that are out there, and you guys want a show, or you want to go to a cruise night or whatnot, and you really don't know what to do. So we're going to give you a few tips. Maybe this will work for you. Maybe it won't. I don't know. The same tips, a lot of these tips can be used if you're going to go to cruise night or a local spot.
It works for most shows.
Cool.
It's pretty universal.
You want to show off your car. You don't quite know what the etiquette is or whatnot. Here, we'll help you out. So let's go into judging a little bit. If you do go into a show, you got to understand when you go to a show that a judge is going to look at certain things. And how that is done is different between one show to the next. All of them work usually on a point system. And they'll break it down between, engine, exterior, interior, trunk, and whatever else. Paint. I've seen undercarriage. I've seen all kinds of stuff.
It really depends on the type of show you're at, too.
So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on first. We're just going to talk about normal shit. Like if you're just going to a show, and I've talked to a guy named Alex, a guy that I work with, and he's new to it. And he'll kind of help me put my brain where I need to be. When you're building a show vehicle, you want to understand that to win, it's accumulation of these points. Pee Wee is a good example of this. Pee Wee gets down on himself because he follows us to shows and we've got all this stuff done and this and that. And then we go to Camp and Drag, and the motherfucker takes home a trophy every fucking time.
It only happened twice.
I've been there fucking for 10 years, and I never took home a trophy. But here's the difference. He looks at me going, "You've got so much done." I do have a lot done.
You're low as fuck, too.
But of my stuff, how many of them are finished? Very few. Everything that is done is finished, and it's clean. There's a big thing about that. Okay? And if you're going to be doing that, this is what you need to do. And this is what I've kind of taught Pee Wee to do. Okay? Obviously, you got to have the wheels. You got to have some drop, some stance, some, I don't know. If you want to be lifted, you can do that too. You need that, okay? And that'll all be, the exterior is never overlooked as far as we talk about in shows. You guys all know what you want. But if you don't open that hood, it's
a zero.
Yeah, it's a
it
zero.
Doesn't get, and it depends. If you're there when they're judging, most of them want to see the hood. Just if you see him coming, pop the hood open, doors open, And
that's another thing that we didn't even put on the thing is talking to the judges, which we'll talk about that in a second. But think about it as that. Yeah, you may not have anything done under your hood.
A clean engine bay and them seeing it with nothing done is better than the hood being closed. Yeah, that's what I learned from you.
A point or two is better than a zero. And if you can get a couple points in each thing, you can beat a guy that's got a much nicer car, but is sitting there with his doors closed and everything done, closed up. That's the main thing. You got to think about those points. Yeah, you may not have anything for the trunk, but I don't know, throw a stuffed animal or something in there that makes it look interesting, that it kind of goes with the rest of the car, and it'll give you some points as long as it's clean. Take those crumbs out of the trunk, make sure everything's nice and tidy.
Having a clean car in general.
I go to the point where in some points at some shows, I'll turn all my dials for my heat controls and that
the same direction.
All the same direction.
I've done that.
The vents all the same direction. It doesn't necessarily mean that the judge is going to be like, well, he took the time to straighten all this. No, but it makes it more...
It's appeasing to look at.
Yes,
that's what it is.
Aesthetically pleasing, and that's it. Your eye sits there and picks it up. You don't notice it, but it is more clean. It's kind of like walking into your bedroom and having your bed not made, or how it looks with the bed made.
Yeah, like if you're like, mom's like, oh, go clean your room. If your bed's made and you have something on the floor, it's not a big deal. But
it's clean.
If the bed's not made, hey, that's a problem.
So, but that's an idea for that, and keep that in mind. keep things clean, tidy. I see a lot of guys on a lot of the boards, and I know maybe they're just driving around town or whatnot, that they got Hot Wheels and all kinds of stuff on there.
Busy interiors with clutter in them don't help your case.
No, not
The
at all.
less stuff you can have and like as clean as you can keep it is the best way to go.
Now, let's take it back another bit. We talked about talking to the judges, which is a big thing. You got to understand when you go to some of these shows, unless it's a Scion only show, the guys that judging are not going to know your car.
They don't.
So,
There's stuff then that I've had done that they don't pick up on, and then you show something, and they're like, "Oh, okay." You're like, yeah, that's right, because they don't know the difference.
and that's it. You want to bring that to their attention. So when the judges walk up, and usually when we're at a show, and we see the judges coming around, we keep an eye. We'll watch. We'll give a heads up. Hey, Brian's truck's going to be first. He's going to get judged. You watch what happens. You see what the judge, or even if you're you're by yourself, watch for those judges. See how they come up. See how they interact with the guy as they walk around the car, or if they do. There are some judges that don't want to be bothered. So
yeah, you can vibe them out if you just to give them a friendly hello. If they're friendly, do your thing, and if not, just step back and let them do whatever. And at every show, it's different.
it is. And now,
And it's very different at every show.
Say you don't want to be around, or you're not going to be around. Say your club's got a meeting somewhere, you got to go do this. They're doing a bikini
Just
contest.
leave it all open.
You got to get over there. You can do what we do a judges sheet. And I think this is a good idea for anything because, on some of these shows, I know here in Chicago, we have shows that you've got to sit and write all your stuff down just to be able to get in. And,
Yeah.
it's a good idea to have those. So, do the same thing. Get a piece of paper, write it down, and then go through like Word or some program you got on the thing and print out a judge's sheet that tells you what's done. Break it down on those engine between the engine compartment, interior, suspension.
You know what?
wheels,
I
tires.
actually need to do that.
You do need to do that for Where the Wheels
Yeah, I
because
do.
those guys will look for that. So do that. And then those guys that come by and don't want to be bothered, you can be like, oh, here's my judge's sheet. And they'll look at it.
Or you just leave it out where they can reach it.
And
too,
it's not
that's
going to
fine,
always
too.
work. I've been to shows where guys, I've handed it to them. There was three judges.
And they just hand it back to you like that.
One hands it to the next one. The other guy hands it to the next one. The guy puts it back in the car, and that's it. You can't do anything about it, but it happens. So do those. That's ways of doing it. And not only that, if you talk to the judges, you get to meet some people. So that's always a good thing.
Yeah, I've met it. There's and then a lot of times you find out judges are like normal people,
Yeah. And I've talked to them, and I remember what was that one show we were at? It was like a little city park show, and the judge comes up. He's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I don't know how to judge you.
Yeah, this
because
guy-
you're dirty, and
he-
you're supposed to be.
He came over. He's like, I don't even know how to judge your car. He's like, I'm supposed to knock you down for this and this and that, and it's in primer, but it's supposed to be that way. And he just went like this. He goes, I don't know what to tell you.
And I got beat by a bunch of stock cars.
No, the funny thing was I judged pretty well because it was one of these shows where they weren't looking for like modified. It was like a classic car where they're looking
Yeah.
for how perfect the paint is and how perfect your chrome is polished and number matching, And there was a bone stock Mercedes Benz.
Yeah.
And that beat me out.
They had
And I
big
couldn't give
wheels.
a fuck.
But you know what, guys? It's just a show. It's just a trophy.
It's just a show. It doesn't matter.
You can go to shows for trophies, which is fine.
But it's nice to just have a car that's well presented,
It's more fun to sit, talk to people, and get to know people.
Yeah.
And that's the best part about it. Hey, the girlfriend's here. Anyway,
Oh, good to know.
So there's that. Now let's go into display a little bit. We've got a couple here that we want to show you. Mr. Dustin Boone.
He does a great
Dude.
display.
Look at that
It's
display.
perfectly balanced.
And it's nice because it's aesthetically pleasing. You look at it, it's stuff that complements the vehicle, okay? There's a fine line between too much and not and just enough, okay? A bunch of trophies that you won, we've all done it. We all want to show off our pride, but
I'm going to tell you something. I have never brought a trophy from another show to a different show to display it. I've never done that. But I always felt that was like I never cared for that.
no, it was kind of a dated thing. And
Maybe that was something 30 years ago, But
But, you know, it doesn't really... Everybody's got trophies and from one place or another. And, you know, you look at... Basically, look at the high-end guys. If you look and see what those guys are doing, go with it. Here, for example, is Dustin. You know, Dustin's taking trophies all over the place, but you don't need to know that by looking at the vehicle. You know that thing's an award winner. So think of it like that. Everything he's got on here kind of just adds to...
it goes with the theme and the idea of what you see. You know who's great for this is like lowriders are real over crazy with this.
Right.
But like how they do a display, how they really get the car opened up. I mean, I'm not expecting you to go and put chrome mirrors under your car and chrome jack stands.
If that's the way if you've got murals painted on your undercarriage.
Yeah, absolutely. If your undercarriage is cool like that, absolutely do that.
I wouldn't say you go do that and show off your stainless steel exhaust and then you've got rust on the floorboards. But
yeah, I mean,
you know, keep it within reason. You've got to understand that there's parts that you don't want to show too. You know, and that's another thing that we think about. You know, you think that everybody's perfect and, you know, this and that, but you can steer people away from things. You know, I'm not saying that this is the way it is, but if Dustin's got a scuff on his wheel, he could kind of put it up behind there. And
there's things you can do to like, not hide stuff, but you know, distract maybe.
The eye maybe. But you know, that's it. But also another thing, you look here, all the doors are open. He's obviously got some prop rods on there to open the doors and keep them that way, but that allows you to walk around the whole vehicle. So everything you can see, because stuff from one side you may not be able to see on the other side. So you want to have it, and you got to think of the vehicle being shown 360 degrees. See, for me, on a lot of stuff, I know when I had my zombie paint job, I did the other side different than the other side just because that's how I look at it. You need to walk around the vehicle and see everything because one side's going to be a little different from the other. And that, you know, keep that in mind with your display. You know, draw people around, get them to do that. Oh, look over here. And I love that when you're at a cruise night or something and people are walking around and they look and then, oh, look at that. And that brings me to another point that we didn't even put on here. You got to keep in mind too, if you're at a cruise spot, you know, don't be like right behind the vehicle because then people aren't going to look. You know, how you go up to some cars and I don't always want to bug people or whatnot. And sometimes you go up there and you just don't feel comfortable and you don't want to look at the back of the car. But do you want that to be that way with your car? You know, you may be hiding out under the freaking the gate with it open and you're sitting in the shade, but then people aren't going to see your air ride.
Oh, I open all the doors, and if you can't, like sometimes you get parked in, windows down. Always put the windows down.
Or like the guy that was at that last show.
You taught me that too. You put that in my head.
Like the guy that was at the last show with the Chrysler 300 who sat in his car the whole time.
That's another one that drives me up the fucking wall. Get out of your car.
The guy paid $50 to get in the show, and then nobody was looking at the car because he was sitting in it.
With it running.
With it running. So keep that in mind, guys. I understand, you know, sometimes you just got to get out of the weather and whatnot, but you know what? Keep that in mind. Make sure you're taking your chairs, an easy up, and whatever else to keep you out of the rain.
Come prepared, man.
Rain, sun, or whatever it is, you know. And don't forget a cooler either.
And the beer.
Dustin's got some. He's got a couple of them up there.
He's got the perfect.
Oh my God! I clicked the wrong mouse and I shut the fucking thing off.
Oops!
Slap my hand. Damn it, bad odds.
Son of a bitch.
Anyway, let me click on this. Here's another great ride. Notice he's got in this picture he's got the doors closed, but all the windows are down. Okay, that's a good point. Maybe you don't want to show the door jamb, or maybe he's got them open on the other side, but the windows are down so that you can see in. You don't want to have a nice clean window and have people coming up going like this to see in the interior, and it happens.
That takes judges off too if you're interested in that. Right. Judges want windows open.
So that shows that the vehicle's clean. Maybe sometimes you don't even have space. I know, like when we were at that same show.
Oh, I couldn't get my doors open at that show.
Some shows you can't. So make sure your windows are down so people can look in, and they will look in. You know, so keep it that way. What else we got here? We talked about over display. Let's cleaning. Cleaning is a big thing, man. I'll tell you, I hate fucking cleaning.
I hate it too. I'm not gonna lie. There are two things everyone loves: changing their oil, and everyone loves washing their car. I couldn't give a fuck for either. I hate washing my car. I absolutely just dread it.
But cleanliness is a big part of
It is.
shows. And, you know, I'm not saying that you got to get into every nook and cranny, you know, because I don't.
There's, yeah,
I'll
quick
tell you what.
detailer and glass cleaner, dude.
If you want to talk about cleanliness, let's go to Will for a minute. You know, the guy, I remember the one time when he was getting ready for Weckfest out in Cali. The dude pulled the motor to clean. Okay?
What?
Yeah.
Wow. He's
But-
doing it better than me. 'Cause
But I'll
I
tell
don't
you
go
what,
that crazy with
that's
it.
why his car is so goddamn clean. And that's a little extreme, but some people get to that point. If you're going to be doing a Weckfest, you better have every crack and crevice of that car clean.
Weckfest is real picky because that was one of the few shows where they told me no.
Yeah.
They wouldn't accept my car, and I was like dropped and everything, and they're like, no.
I got into Weckfest, which I didn't understand, but then I got turned down for Tuner Evolution. I was told...
Wait a minute, you got into Weckfest and then didn't get into Tuner?
I got told, keep working on your car, and someday you'll be able to make it.
Never mind that you're more modified than, you know, half the cars that are. You know what? You didn't have tilty wheels.
I didn't have tilty wheels. But you can't take that
Basically,
personally.
like, go look at the real best of what's at a show and just try and do that.
Emulate
Don't
it.
try and be like them, but see how they, you know.
And that's it. You go to a couple cruise nights or a couple shows. See,
You figure it out.
see
It
those
ain't
cars
hard,
that
but-
stand out to you. That's what you want to do. Emulate those guys. Maybe find them, talk to them a little bit, and see what they do. You know, I know a lot of you guys that are newer, and we want to help you guys come in and feel comfortable. You got to do a little bit of that. You know, rubbing some elbows and whatnot. Go up to those guys and talk to them. A lot of the car guys, we're happy to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to talk to people that approach me. I mean, I know some people are hard to approach.
You know,
Some people are shy.
it's hard. It is really hard, especially for you guys coming into some of it now. I know the guy, my buddy Alex at work. I call him McAlex. He'll crack up if he watches. Anyway, he's talking about getting registering for some of these shows, and we've got quite a few of them that you have to actually put in an application for.
Yeah, some of them around here are like that, where they want you to get pre-approved. It is like,
Is that's
rainy.
snow? Because look at
no,
the,
it's not snow because it looked like that before and it was rain. I'm
Okay.
sorry, guys.
Anyway, so yeah, what we're talking about here is this: you got to do pictures, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to get pictures," and he's showing me. I'm like, "Dude, that's a great picture if you're putting it on Instagram." What those guys want to see is they want to see your car 3/4 shot front side, 3/4 shot rear side. They want to
That's-
see all
yeah.
the way around the vehicle, so that they can tell that you don't have a freaking caved-in fender, or your third wheel doesn't match or whatever. They want to make sure it's like that. Then, if you've got some engine, throw that. Interior, throw that. Make sure you've got some nice, clean shots, and make sure they're high definition, and that'll help out. Now, when you get into some of that other stuff, I see a lot of kick-ass pictures like Alex had showed me. I'm like, dude, this is a picture for Instagram. This is definitely cool. It'll definitely get you some likes, but the problem is it doesn't show the vehicle off. You've got some goofy sun
Yeah.
lighting thing, which highlights the vehicle, but it doesn't show the vehicle off. So you want to keep that in mind, that you want to see it. Make sure your lighting's good, and that what you want to see, what you're most proud of, shows up in those pictures. So, what else we got?
I think that about wraps. I'm trying to think if there's any cleaning tips that makes life easy.
Cleaning tips, you know what I would say? If I was going to go out, when I go out and get stuff, in my bucket, I always got a roll of toilet paper. If you're going to camp and drag, that's a necessity.
Yeah,
But,
I can't even drag. Yeah, it is fine.
grab yourself a roll of paper
Microfibers.
towels. Paper towels are good. Bring microfibers. Microfibers are good. I use microfibers for cleaning wheels, cleaning...
Does it all.
pretty much everything except for my windows. Paper towels are good for windows. Make sure you got some glass cleaner in there. Some detailer. I always use like a Meguiar's moisture mist. I'm not big on wax in a car. Too much wax will make it so the paint can't breathe, and it's not good. Then the paint will actually...
Once a year.
Crack
That's
and-
it for me. Once a year. And that's it.
So what I use is moisture mist. basically you can go over the whole car. You wipe it down. It takes care of any smudges, smears, whatever. Gives you that shine just like you did wax. And the nice thing it is, it's not like wax where it doesn't seal.
Right.
And that's a big problem.
Now, have you ever done this? Have you ever washed a car and then drive to a show and it's dirty by the time you get there?
All the fucking time.
That's every show I go to. Try having a white car. Black is real bad for that too.
Yeah.
But.
I'm finding that out the hard way. But other things, a California Duster. I don't know if they even sell those anymore.
Oh, yeah, they do. I have one.
Dude, California Dusters are great for when you're at the show. And a lot of these shows, if you're out in a field, cars driving by and
pollen,
whatnot,
dirt,
stuff comes and sticks on it. Go over it with the California Duster and keep it, clean with that. Whatever you use to clean your wheels, make sure you got some of that in there. What I like to recommend, especially if you've got a chrome or a billet wheel, is to...
That's a whole topic.
I wax my wheels.
Yeah, I did that last year, and that paid off because they clean a lot easier.
Waxing is great because if you get it, take right now, you guys are wondering what you can do to get ready, and you got your wheels sitting in the other room, and you're bored, and you want to do something on your
Wax
car.
'em.
Sit there in your room, polish them up. Get some chrome polish or whatever you use to clean it. Polish shit. Get them as clean as you possibly can. Then go get yourself a nice carnauba wax or a real high-end wax. I don't know what they got anymore. I always call it carnauba.
Any carnauba on a wheel is fine,
But
in my experience.
You put that on there, and it'll seal just like your car. Now, when you got that brake dust and you hit the brakes, that brake dust
comes
actually,
right off.
If it doesn't come right off, you just hit it with the freaking washer at the freaking spray and wash, gone. You don't have to worry about it. If you're running billets, you have to do this.
Yeah, there's no getting around that. You
Once
know what's
a year.
really great? If you have powder coated wheels, dude, you can clean them with anything. You can clean them with Windex.
Yeah.
I've done that. I've done that too.
But, that's that. Other things you can have, I take a clay bar sometimes. I got a clay bar that I keep in mind, and especially for the bigger shows, I'll go over it with the clay bar. I'll use the moisture mist, the clay bar, go over it with that, wipe it thing down.
We clay barred my car at LST.
Why are you listening to me? I have a dirty car at every show.
Yeah, but you've done it. I mean, yeah.
We should be asking Will about this is what we should do.
That would be the right guy to talk to about cleaning.
But yes, make sure you got stuff in there, guys, and other things that you could think of. We used to take like a nice roll of 2-inch tape. What are you gonna do with this? Well, first off, you're always gonna need something to tape with. But the other thing is, if you get in your car after you freaking wash it at the car wash and vacuum the whole thing out, then you get out at the car wash and you got crumbs in there. You use this, roll it over, pulls the tape.
That works really good.
That works great. I've seen guys with vacuums. That would be freaking awesome too. I don't have that.
Like
option,
little mini vacs.
But yeah.
That would be a good idea. Here's another cheat sheet too. If you roll your windows down, you don't have to clean them. That's what I figured out. I don't clean the window. I'm like, nope, roll them down. They're fine.
And if you have a big sliding rag top, that makes you got this huge section of the roof that is hard to get to.
Yeah, you don't have to clean that either.
But I think that'll help you guys out a little bit. Like I said, we want to kind of help you guys out a little bit. Obviously, the majority of you guys all know this.
Here's another one. Keep the front end waxed. The bugs come off easier because I go on trips and I get so many bugs.
I know, and I don't like that tape thing.
You know what? That's really for rock chips. And if you go look at the front of my car, there's a few.
I drive it.
That's what I told them. I said, yeah, I drive it. I got rock chips. I've never had anyone shame me for having rock chips.
Why did you have me get a Whopper? Jesus.
I don't know. I'm starting to think that Whopper wasn't a good idea, but
So anyway, guys.
I think we nailed it, right?
Yeah, we did. That's what we wanted to do. And like I said, we don't really know what the hell.
I mean, I'm not trying to host a school on it, but I figured some pointers would be
would be good. I know you guys probably got some pointers. If you do, you can put them down there. And the guys that are watching
tell
this,
me something I don't know. I would love for someone to inform me.
You know what? Another one I like to do.
What's
Most
another
people
one?
don't know. I'll wax my windshield.
I've done that.
Not wax.
You know what works really good is you do the
Moisture
new finish.
mist.
The new finish works.
New finish?
Yeah, like
Isn't
the,
that
the space age polymer. It's not a wax.
Wasn't that the infomercial in the 1990s?
Yeah, it's not a wax. It's a space age polymer. Yeah, do your windows with that.
Is that the one that you could light it on fire?
What? No, that's the one where they go to the junkyard and they smear it on the black car and it looks like new. You've seen that.
Yes.
Available at your local Walgreens. Your Walgreens, or what's the other one?
Don't buy your
CVS.
cleaning supplies at CVS and Walgreens.
No, you know
Or
what, though?
Kohl's.
I'm going to make a quick product recommendation. Go to Costco. If you don't, tell them you want the trial or whatever. Go in there and buy their microfibers. They break down to be like $0.25 a piece. When they fall out, throw them out. They're not the greatest, but I think they're a good value.
There you go. There's a tip. Or you can get them at Walmart for like $2 or $3 for like 2 or 3.
Or you could buy a
That's a little more
30
expensive.
pack for $15.
You can steal them from your mom. Old washcloths from the bathroom. Those are good.
No, I'm about the microfiber on the paint.
Lace doilies? No, don't do that.
No,
Do we even have lace doilies anymore?
I don't.
We are off topic.
Probably. No. Well, yeah.
Anyway,
All right,
guys,
let's wrap this up so we
you've
can.
had enough of us.
We've
Let's
had our
get back
fill.
to Jamie and Derek. Let's hear some more about them, get to know them a little bit more, and we will come back. And I think we've got some other people that are coming up that you guys are going to be interested in. I think we talked about that in a time or two. And
Yes.
anyway, we'll see you on the other side of this interview.
See ya. Grab coffee, but
And that's one of the
Yeah.
things I wanted to have you guys on for, is because, you know, first off, like myself, I think I had Jamie as friends on Facebook for a while there, and I don't think I realized that you were a woman until the calendar thing came up, and then I was like,
I didn't know that either.
I felt like
so-
I had egg on my face. But, you know, I wanted to bring you on here for that. For one, you know, you got an amazing ride, and you guys built this thing. So tell us a little bit about your guys' build.
Well, I saw the Garson body kit, and I wouldn't settle for less. He tried to talk me into several other body kits that were easier to get. I wanted my car to look like the car that's on the cover page for the Garson website, and so that's what we built. Ordered the body kit, had it sent over. We found the wheels, had those shipped over from Japan. Even the tires are from Japan on the car.
Wow.
I mean,
Oh wow!
we got the BB door panels inside of it. We just tried to. I mean, I've got the Garson door strikers. I've got the seatbelt button covers. I mean, we've tried to touch everything that we could on the car. A lot of the Weapon R parts I got because we were friends with when we first joined the club. We had one of the Weapon R guys in the Scion Club with us, so we got the intake, the header, the short ram intake, you know, the oil catch can. We were able to find a Perrin fuel rail, which was fun to install because the clip was for the 04 and 05, and they changed the clip on the fuel rail. So we went to like 5 different wrecking yards trying to find a fuel rail. So
Oh,
we could
wow.
I love when Toyota does that. They keep stuff the same for a decade, and then they change one fucking thing, It's like, oh God, I hate when Toyota does that.
The hard thing is hers. It's the '06, and that's right when everything changed.
Yeah.
So the seat covers are even different. It's just everything's different.
Wow. That's something I didn't know about. But it's amazing the detail. I know you guys sent me a picture of the Garson door latch striker, whatever, cover. And that thing is freaking awesome. I love that. And that's the attention to detail we're talking about here. I'll post some of you guys' pictures up through this and through on my Instagram. The one that really got me was your air ride setup in the back. It's so clean and so precise looking. It amazes me. And it makes me want to go out and do hardline on mine.
We built that on the dining room table.
That's awesome.
That's real right there. I love that.
Lucky for me, Derek is an electrician, so he has experience in bending pipe.
Yes.
So
That helps.
It was just learning how to scale it down and use the smaller benders. And so he was a big help on that.
And you can tell that he definitely knows what he's doing because there's so many of them that you see that the tubing has got that just kind of a slight round to it. It doesn't have that nice crisp bend like that you were able to put in there, which definitely.
You should see the pile of pipe that was thrown away.
I can imagine. You know who covered that was on Our Lifestyle? They had the guy from 33, and he gave out all the pointers and like what to use and how to do it.
Yeah.
I haven't even done it. I'm still running DOT because I'm just like, I don't know. I want the hard line, but I might save it for the next setup I do.
I definitely plan on doing hardline, so I'm probably going to have to hit you guys up for some pointers when it gets to that point.
Oh, yeah. Just prepare to chase a lot of leaks.
Oh, really?
Does it leak?
When you first set it up, put the hard lines and the compression fittings. I had to redo, I think, 4 or 5 of the fittings because they were bubbling.
Oh,
But, we have one leak right now that I got to chase down, but that's about all.
Is it a tank? Is it draining the tank or?
It's just draining the tank. It's like, while we drive for like 2 hours, I think she loses like 15 PSI out of the tank. So it's a small leak.
That's about the same as mine.
That's not bad. I noticed at one point my tank, I drop like 20 pounds every like 12 hours. I just left it.
Yeah, but you know what? It is a pain in the ass after a while because, like, you sit at the show, the tank's completely out. Then you get in the car, you got to fill the whole thing up. So it's definitely worth chasing down. But I think you're probably better off running the hard lines with some of that because we're talking. The same guy on Our Lifestyle was talking about just the DOT, and the majority of us, myself included, we don't deburr the ends of the plastic. You just cut it and stick it in, and that's a lot of the time where you're getting your problems.
Yep. Yeah, because everything is all DOT underneath it. It's just the hard lines for the setup.
Yeah.
And the way they were explaining it too on there was they said there's nothing unsafe or improper with using hard lines. Because that's like a common myth that people go, oh, well, you can't, they're not safe to use. And I don't think that's true.
Well, I don't see how you
I've heard
think it.
people say that if they use like aluminum lines or copper lines, they've had issues with cracking.
Yeah.
But that's about all I've ever heard.
Yeah, I could see that when you're bending it, but it's not going to,
Unless
things are moving.
Now, I have heard that the Home Depot stuff, when you try and do like a 90, it folds on the inside and it weakens it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, we bought everything from a company that makes all the hardline stuff, so we made sure we got the right stuff. We put a DOT tank in there, so her tank's approved. Because we were at a show in LA and someone's air ride system exploded in his MV, and it actually put a crater in the ground.
Blew the back bumper off his car.
Blew his back window out. It was so. We had to make sure it was safe when we put it in the car.
That's funny.
That makes me think too because mine's in the back.
I've always heard the horror stories about it. I've never heard of anybody seeing or even seeing one. So
I've heard of steel tanks popping because they rust out and people not draining them. But was it an aluminum tank or do you not remember?
Don't know, but his compressors didn't shut off.
It probably overfilled.
Well, he didn't have like the valve to release the pressure, so it just kept filling up.
Yeah. Well, there was a couple problems on that install.
Yeah. I actually had that happen once. It was the wintertime, and I had the pressure valve, like the line to it froze up, so it was thinking there was only like 100 pounds, and it kept filling. I'm looking at the clock, I'm like, whoa. There had to have been about 300 psi in the tank. I'm just slowly trying to drain it. And after that, I learned my lesson. Nothing bad happened, but I learned my lesson
But
with that.
that's why you got to have gauges and stuff in there, and you got to pay attention. Some of these guys I know, even guys in our chapter, they don't even have gauges, and it's like, man, how do you know? Obviously, some of them know they can tell how long the compressors have been running, and that's something. But how could you not have all these safety features in there and then end up like that guy? And I'm sure.
I think proper safety is key with all of this stuff, because if you build it right, the way it's supposed to be done, it's not dangerous, it's not unsafe, it's not unreliable.
No, we've had the air ride in the car for at least 8 years now, and other than busting one fitting before we changed out to the brass fittings because we had plastic fittings on it first, never had a problem since.
Yeah, this is build number 2 or build number 3 for this car.
Okay.
Oh, it started out with the basic build, and then she kind of went to like a tuner build with the cambered wheels and stuff like that. And then we're like, it's not a race car.
Right. Right.
Then she decided she wanted to do VIP.
Well, you guys definitely nailed the VIP because, man, you got
Agreed.
it. It's, even the video, which I'm going to post up in here that you guys sent us, it was really good at showing a lot of the attention to detail, especially with the one where you're coming up over the back seat and you can see, you've got the stuff sitting in the table there in the back, which is awesome. And the cool part about it was I'm like, this is how it is sitting in the driveway. This isn't at a show. This is how this car always is.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she's not afraid to drive it. That's the thing. It's not a trailer queen. She gets in it.
I refuse to trailer the car. It has to be driven everywhere it goes. There's no, it's way too fun to drive.
That's how I feel about mine.
I definitely agree. My problem is I've gotten to the point now where I'm like at the verge of not even being able to drive. I was talking to a guy at work and he was like, well, are you going to take it to Florida? And I'm like, no.
No.
I said it'd be hard enough driving it to work, but I definitely
Everybody
agree.
asked me about driving it to work because I never drive it to work anymore. And everyone's like, "Do you still have your green car?" And so when I was able to put up my calendar last month, everybody was just like, "Oh my God, is that your car?" And I'm like, "Yes, I still have it. See, I'm not willing to drive it here anymore."
Yeah, I'll take my XB to work. It'll be like, oh, it's Tuesday. You know what? I'm going to drive the XB. Why? I don't know. It's Tuesday.
I miss doing that.
Yeah.
It's not fun for her to drive it in bumper traffic.
No.
Trying to worry all the time if somebody's going to hit her.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, manual in a freaking traffic is not good at all.
That's why I went with automatic on my XB. Because if I sit in traffic, I don't take the XA.
Yeah.
Forget
I
that.
know my commuters, everything's our stick. I mean, even though it's 60 miles each way for me, I prefer it. And I start work at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, so I get to beat most of the traffic. It usually only takes me an hour to get to work and an hour home, whereas it takes other people that leave later a couple hours. So.
Yeah, there's something about having that early bird shift because I get up at like 2 o'clock in the morning every day. There's no traffic. There's no
She's up at 2:30 every morning.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like it actually.
Let me sleep in.
I'm right there with you, man. I can't, I get up at 6:30 and I'm like, okay, let's do this and get it over with.
Well, I would have been at like 7.
Well, that's nice, man. Because then you can do the opposite.
Come from work before me.
And you can do the opposite. You can go around the behind of the traffic then.
Yeah, I try to get behind the traffic, but I do 200-300 miles a day worth of driving.
Oh, wow.
So I just try to be away from traffic because it sucks sitting in it.
Yeah. Well, and being in your line of work, I'm sure you're not going the same direction every day, too. Or
no, I'm never in the same place. Every day is a different day.
That's nice. My problem with doing that was around here, I knew where all the good taco and hot dog places were.
Yeah, you got to know where the local taco joint is.
I know where all the good places are.
Oh, I'm sure they got like good food too out there,
Whatever you want to find out here. I mean,
yeah,
there's no limit to the food out here.
It's far and few between out here. Either it's really good or it's not. That's how it is.
What I'm getting is we just need to move to California.
I don't know if I'm ready to move to California.
Your air ride system won't freeze up.
I think I've had that happen once. And the sad thing
Every
is,
year.
it was before the body drop, and it dared all the way down, and I drove 0 psi all the way home, fenders tucked up in the things, barely turning. But that was about the only time I ever had that problem.
Yeah, that's the one reason we changed the setup with the wheels. Is with the old wheels aired out, she couldn't roll. So if she lost all her pressure on the freeway, she was sitting on tire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I was just like, it's not safe for her. So we went to smaller wheels, made it so if she's aired out, she can still roll.
that's how mine is set up currently. Like I can roll at 0 for the most part.
And I don't know how those guys can do that, especially with doing the perfect stance where that, the fender's going in the wheel gap or whatever.
We're between the tire and the I don't know.
That's cool, but man, if you're aired down and something
If
happens,
something fails, you are gonna have a problem.
it's a paperweight.
Yeah. There's a few times we heard about people rolling their cars on the freeway because they lost a bead on a stretched tire.
We've been at a car show and seen a bead pop on a tire, and the guy just had to come change his tire before he could leave.
Yeah, it ain't. It's if you really think about it, it's really not safe. I mean, I'm not gonna tell people what to do and what not to do. I'm not.
Yeah, but really, is any of it safe that we do?
I think it is.
It goes to the point, do you want form over function,
Yes. And you do have to get to that point. And I see a lot of that, and I think the same thing. Oh, it's not safe. You know what? Back in the day, the air ride wasn't safe back then, and we still did it. And
They used to run air shocks. I mean,
we did a lot of sketchy shit.
There's a lot of stuff that isn't safe to do.
We all start somewhere,
Right.
and some of our ideas aren't the greatest.
And just like that, we used to cut coil springs and all that shit that everybody's like, oh my god, and they're right. It wasn't safe, but they're still doing. We still got the lowered look, and now we can do it all the proper way. And just like that, those guys are gonna have. They started their thing, and eventually it'll come to a point where somebody's making tires that are made for that are going to be safe, and they'll keep the bead. So, more power to them.
Oh yeah, it'll just the more they run the style, the more it'll motivate them to make that safe tire.
Right, and you know what? It's not too much difference from what those guys are doing with the stretched tires than the guys with the lowriders were doing back in the day. I think some of the lowriders were stretching them even further.
Yeah, our little 13-inch wheels.
Yeah, with a freaking itty bitty tire on it, and then, I don't know.
So, you guys got any big plans for the box or what?
Well, we picked up a trailer that we're going to be building out.
Oh.
We have already ordered the body kit and a matching set of wheels. Ooh. So we're going to be styling it to match the XB, and we're still working on the design and what we're going to do for the inside of the trailer.
We're the Garson trailer.
Does that have a roof on it, or how is it set up?
The top was chopped off the trailer, so there is no glass, and it's got a vinyl top on it. Most people might recognize it and know it as built by Keith Rickard originally.
The black one that he had?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys sent us some pictures. I like the fact that you showed the one with the seat up, and I was like, that's gangster right there.
Well, it's got the tonneau cover.
Inside of it, and the little back cover for the spare tire and such, but other than that, there's really nothing inside of it.
And one door opens.
So.
The rest are all welded shut.
And I like how they cut the top off. I think that is definitely much cooler than some of the other ways, because I think one of the things that bothers me the most about them is the people, they don't keep the windshield and they put something up there, and it just looks kind of funny. But the way yours is done is so much cleaner. It actually looks like a trailer, but it's cool to see it from the back and see the taillights and still know that it's a Scion.
So I gotta ask, I've never seen one of these trailers. How does it behave driving?
I towed it behind another car to get it here, and I couldn't even tell it was behind the car. We were in a pickup truck, and we had to keep looking back to make sure the trailer was still there. It's so light.
I'm just wondering how
I'm gonna hitch in the XB to be able to tow it, but we've had the trailer for less than a month, so we're coming up with a plan.
And we actually are going to talk about trailers a little bit in our intro, and we didn't want to mention that you've got yours because we wanted to let you guys be the first to put that out there. So we'll have pictures of it that we'll post up here so everybody can see it. But it's definitely cool to see that the trailers are catching on.
Yeah, there's only a few of them out there, so.
Well, and to put that Garrison body kit on there, man, you're gonna have some money.
That
in
body
that trailer.
kit's gonna be cool with the match. The wheels have to match. That's what makes it.
We did get matching wheels.
We have ordered the matching wheels.
It's on the slow boat right now.
Nice.
3 months later, you're gonna get a set of wheels.
And a body kit, yep.
Well, now you're gonna have to cut the shit out of that body kit in the front to get it to work
Oh
too.
yeah, that's right.
Because
We're actually going to take the body kit that's on the XB right now and cut that one up for the trailer and then put the brand new one on the XB.
Nice.
Can you run a hitch with that body kit?
Yes.
You're gonna. What do you got to cut out the square for the?
They make a hitch that kind of goes under the bumper and comes up.
Okay.
Oh, like a drop hitch.
Yeah, they got a drop hitch where the actual receiver is facing down and then it just comes up like this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
This other one.
And that's good too, because if you unhook it, you can drop it down, and then you don't have to see the hitch.
Yeah. What's nice is the trailer already has bags on it, so it's got air ride on the trailer already.
How is that? How is that set up? How does it take the power from the car?
It's not set up the way they have it now. Is they just have lines to the front, and then I guess they just filled it up off the car.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be all redesigned. We just got to wait for her to design the inside of the trailer, so her and I can start building it.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what the inside of that's gonna look like, because there's a lot of ways you could go about that.
Dude, that would be awesome to keep the seats in there like you got it and be able to ride in there at different shows.
Dude.
Pull that top. That'd be better than a freaking rag top.
I mean, we're planning on keeping the back vents since the one door opens. We just don't know how we're going to design the rest.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how that's going to go.
Well, definitely keep us posted on that, and we'll definitely, if you got any pictures that you want to send us, we'll throw them up here and keep everybody in the loop. Because I'm sure everybody wants to see that.
We'll keep you updated.
Sounds good. You guys have any questions for us?
You know, just enjoy your podcast and keep doing what you're doing.
Well, we thank you.
Thank you
We
for that.
appreciate it.
We do definitely appreciate it.
The
and
feedback helps a lot. So.
Oh, yeah. You know, it's good to meet the people. I mean, we know everybody on Facebook, you know, but we don't actually get to see them or talk to them or know somebody who lives like where you guys live.
Right.
You know, I've seen your box a million times, but I could never put a face to it, you know?
Yeah, that's true. Even though you can go look at somebody's profile, it's not the same.
Nobody wants to look at us anyway.
Yeah,
but
I'm pretty,
It's a cool thing for you to help introduce us to some of the XB community that we're not getting to see or meet.
And that's really what we wanted to do, and it's funny because I know Kevin came to me with it, and he's like, dude, we should do one of these. I'm like, nah, we ain't got time for that. And
it started as a joke too, and then somehow we were all of a sudden we're doing it. I'm like, oh.
I was listening to Our Lifestyle one. I don't know, guys, if you guys are into podcasts or not. That's a good mini truck podcast for you.
It's the only one that I know of.
And I'm listening to him going, man, I wish I could do this. And then all of a sudden it just clicked, and I'm like, dude, I know all these XB people. Let's put this together. And I think it's a perfect time for it because, there's all of us like, you guys like us and you that are still out there and we don't know each other. And we're going to try to bring us together and to bring this all back and to, kind of give life to it. And I think the next thing is we got to start bringing up the newbies that are coming in. And I know we all cringe when we see some of their questions on Facebook, but we got to realize that we've got to teach these guys.
These are people buying them from $3,000, $5,000 on Craigslist and getting, Dad wants a new Lexus and here comes the XB.
But the other,
we learned by going to car meets at people's houses, and we would have mod fests, and people would show you how to redo the headliner or show you how to change the LEDs to a different color.
Right.
That's how we kind of really got into this. Was a lot of the XB clubs were motivated at helping you modify.
I can't count how many headliners she's redone or door cards she's recovered. For people, it's just you got to help people out. That's the way
And that's exactly it.
Stuff you work up to,
You know what? Since you guys are talking about headliners, how do you guys do headliners? Because I want to know if you're doing it differently than I just did it, because I just did it recently.
Well, we make sure we use the 3M spray 90 glue because that holds better. It won't drop. We've had headliners up for years that haven't dropped.
Okay.
But
But yeah, we just kind of rip it all out, start at the front, and kind of do it in 6-inch sections, rolling the fabric back, stretching it. And
Do you guys, what was I going to ask?
Do you take the old fabric off or do
Yeah.
you leave it on?
Yes, strip off the old fabric.
See, when I did mine, we didn't do that.
I left it on. That's right. I'm sorry. We did leave it on. The last
Okay.
time we recovered it, of course, I had to strip off the stuff I had put on. So yeah.
I've noticed if you...
I've like 3 times now.
You stripped the headliner of the Volkswagen when you did it.
Oh yeah, when I did my Volkswagen, I stripped off the old material. That's why.
Which sucked because it made the headliner a lot weaker. Now it's sagging in the middle. So you kind of learned your lesson.
And that's why I bring that up, because on mine, I did it. I pulled mine off, and it does take a lot of structure away, and I don't have much of it left in the middle anyway, but it's still falling down, and that's one of the reasons why I asked that. So.
See, I just did mine with,
So
What was that?
with the sunroof, we have 2 headliners. We have the one that actually goes around the sunroof, and then we have the factory one that they cut.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how they did it. You gotta she had to wrap the whole headliner, and then once you get it in the car and cut the hole for the sunroof, then she had to spray glue it and finish the headliner while it was in the car.
Oh, man,
that sounds like a pain in the ass. Because when we did mine, we had the hole cut for the rag top. We left the original fabric on. We used a Landau top, those fake tops. We used the glue for that, and it works great. But man, my whole car reeks like glue now. It is like strong. I'm like, this is gonna have to air out.
Well, you get a head rush for the next 4 days driving it around. You know.
No, I'm just gonna have to deal with it. I'm just gonna keep the top open when it's 30 degrees out.
Yeah, for sure.
But
Yeah.
So I got to ask one question, or a couple here. What club are you guys with right now? Are you know?
At the moment, we're with a club called Team Elevate.
Okay.
okay.
And they're just a bunch of different mix of cars. The main club is out of Southern California, but we have chapters all over in other countries, Vegas, all over the United States as well.
Cool. That's
Right
I
on.
know I've seen it on your car. I didn't realize that was what the club was. So that's definitely cool to
Yeah.
put that together.
Yeah, she's in psychotics.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have just kind of gotten done with them and moved on.
We had a chapter here. I haven't heard him or seen him in years.
I don't think we have any of them anymore.
I mean, she was psychotics. Then she went to Scions R Us,
And then I went to Alpha Squad, and then we stopped running clubs for a while, and then we joined Team Elevate.
Sweet.
I think that's it.
I think that's an interview.
Sounds good.
It was really a pleasure to meet you guys. It's good to see you guys on here and to get your build out there and to let everybody know that this was done by you guys. And I think that's great. I love to see people that are building and showing off their wares. You know, it definitely is a lot more. You're a lot easier, or how do I want to say it? It's a lot more easy to appreciate when you can see the people behind it and know that it was done by them.
Well,
It is, and thank you for giving everybody the chance to see that I'm a female, because almost everybody assumes I'm a guy.
well, the thing works. She wanted to build a car that you couldn't tell if it was a guy or girl's car.
You did a good job at that because you
Stuff,
fooled me.
chemicals, all that stuff. So she wanted something that basically, if I got in it to drive it one day, I wasn't embarrassed to drive it. It wasn't this pink fluffy thing.
Yes.
You know.
And
No butterflies, no fluff.
You might be doing yourself a favor by not letting people know you're a woman, but I guess it doesn't matter now because you're famous.
I like the surprised look on the judge's face. That's always the fun part.
Well, and one thing that I'll bring up too, when I was talking to Pee Wee, we were talking about this. He's like, I don't want to do like we've seen on other podcasts. I want to interview her just like she's a person, just like everybody else. No difference.
She is.
Because
it's
we
like,
listen to some of the other ones, and it's like they treat them differently.
they cater to them. It's like, it's almost unfair.
Oh, it's that much special just because I'm a girl, and girls shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
The thing is, she's built the car. Her and I did it together, but she's hands-on in everything. She can sit in front of a judge and say, "This is what's done to my car."
Well, and that's, I'll tell you what did it for me. As soon as you were talking about getting the injectors in, I was like, boom. You could tell right there that this was a person.
That's somebody who's involved.
It's not like some of these others that are like, I worked on my car, and they're over here like this while their husband's doing the thing or whatever, and
I handed him the wrench.
yeah, exactly. And That's not to say that there's anything wrong with that, but it's not the same. And, I just hope that,
Agreed.
people can aspire to that level.
Oh yeah, because there's a lot of times that we've gone to car shows and you see the guy drive the car in, you see him set it all up, and then you see the girl come accept the trophy for it and say it was the female ride, and it's like, what did she do other than show up to accept the trophy?
Yeah, exactly. So I appreciate you guys being on. Thank you very much for putting up with us when we were trying to deal with some of our issues and getting this set. But definitely helped us get to know you guys. And
No,
it's
these
great.
were some cool customers, man. But we're going to cut you guys loose so you guys can get back in the garage.
Yes.
Time to go change a head on a Bobo.
Oh, that sounds like a...
That does not sound like
that
fun.
doesn't sound like fun.
Well,
Hey, when it's driving, it'll be fun.
yeah.
Yes.
True.
Right now it's got a loud tick, so it sucks when you try to put 28 psi into a stock engine. No.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah, that's a
That'll
lot.
make it tick a lot.
Send the valve into the atmosphere.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. And we will talk to you guys soon.
Have a
Thank
good one.
you. Have a good one.
You too. Take
Bye,
care.
guys.
Come as you are, as you were, as I want you to be.
All right, guys. We are like best friends with Jamie and Derek now, aren't we?
Yeah, they're cool, man. They're cool cats.
Hey, just so you know, guys, we know you now. We're just going to come over and we're just going to hang out in
Yeah, when I come in California, I'm going to swing by for the day.
Thanks a lot, guys, for that. It was really great to get to know you guys. It's really cool to see people and to hear some input
Yeah.
from people that are out there building. And hopefully that's an inspiration to you guys. I know it definitely was for me.
Yeah, I find these things very inspiring.
So here, let's do this real quick. We're going to keep this short. We got our sticker situation again. This right here, I know you can't really
I'll
see.
show.
It's a big piece of white. That is our 8-inch $5 sticker. Send us $5 at the...
Oh, there you go.
What is our thing?
The PayPal.
Our PayPal is outsidetheboxvideo@yahoo.com. Or hit me up on Instagram. Make sure that you get a look at the outro. We've got our Instagrams on there, and we are trying to get some more people on there. I know I am, because I heard this thing that if you were like over 1,000 likes, that you can do the thing when you're doing, like, they've got that storyline at the top.
Yeah, you can link a YouTube video to it.
You
right?
can link it right to it. So wouldn't that be nice if you guys can do that? And I'd be like, look, guys, the video's up. Just swipe up. And you go,
All we need is 1,000
Boom.
followers on Instagram, and he's not too far off.
I'm 50 people away.
Come on. 50 of you got to add him and subscribe.
I'm begging you. No, I'm not.
If you want to follow him if you want. If you don't,
Anyway,
don't.
it'd be cool to have that. If you do, go ahead, hit us up on there. I do post pictures, so like you want to see a better picture of this shot or whatever we post on here, a picture of this that you can't really see, I'll throw it up on there. Otherwise, you can do the same thing like we do at the outro here. Send us a self-addressed stamped envelope. We'll send you out a smaller sticker. We appreciate the love. You want our shirts, our hats? We don't have shirts or hats yet. You can hit Brian up for hats. You can get a hat like this one.
If you want something, hit us up. We'll get you taken care of one way or the other.
And I'll say this, though. If you want a hat, you don't have to have a flat bill. You don't have to have whatever. You like the logo. He's got it. He can put it on whatever you want.
You know what? Brian could probably stitch a yarmulke.
I don't know if you want to do that at Temple, but if you want to show your love at Temple, go right ahead.
The Habibs. You could do the Habibs. You can get the Nike ones now.
Nike has a...
Nike makes Habibs.
Okay,
All right, we're going to end it.
Anyway, thanks a lot, guys, for everything.
That's enough.
Why don't you go ahead and do what Pee-wee always tells you what to do? Like, subscribe. What's the other one?
Like, share, subscribe.
Thank you.
In that order.
Do that. We'll keep you guys in the loop, and I won't have to remind you on the pages about it. You can be like, dude, shut the fuck up. I already saw. Because I swear, I it was hilarious. I hit the thing to upload, and I heard doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and I got this thing on the screen that says, outside the box, just uploaded a brand new video. And I'm like, hell yeah, we did.
Sweet.
So thanks a lot, guys. That was episode 13. We're going to slide into the next one here. We're going to have Mr. Rich Waterman from All Time Low on. And that should be a good time, man. I'm definitely looking forward to meeting him.
That's gonna be cool.
So anyway, thanks again, guys, for very much for all you guys. We really appreciate all the love and comments you guys got. It makes us get out here in the garage here and do it all over again. And
yeah,
look,
man.
Pee-wee.
I took the shades off.
No sunglasses.
I was scaring the kids.
He was waiting for HD. Anyway, guys.
For HD.
I thank you very much.
Thanks,
we
guys.
We love you all, and we will see you next.
What up, y'all? Yeah, soundtrack, what's poppin', baby? Woo! Y'all ain't know, I go by the name of Lupe Fiasco, representing that first and 15. Yeah, and this one right here, I dedicate this one right here to all my homies out there grinding. You know what I'm saying? Legally and illegally. You know what I'm talking about? So, check it out. First got it when he was 6, didn't know any tricks. Matter of fact, first time he got on it, he slipped, landed on his hip and busted his lip. For a week he had to talk with a list like this. Now we can end the story right here, but shorty didn't quit, it was something in the air. Yeah, he said it was something so appealing, he couldn't fight the feeling, something about it. He knew he couldn't doubt it, couldn't understand it. Branded, since the first kick flip he landed. Labeled a misfit, a bandit. Cocoon, cocoon, cocoon. His neighbors couldn't stand it, so he was banished to the park. Started in the morning, one stopped after dark. Yeah, when they said it's getting late in here, so I'm sorry, young man, there's no skating here. And so we kick, push, kick, push, kick, push, kick, push, coast. And away he rolled, just a rebel to the world with no place to go. And so we kick.